artistic they are. So, she did not use the blank. She wrote her blog in her own way. So, here, she expressed her feelings about linear programming. See, she said that I thought it was about computer because of the word program. Okay? And so on. But take a look at this. However, I found it quite difficult. The solution that we presented is as simple as that. Just substitute the corner points and then determine which is the maximum or the minimum. And still, it's difficult. Okay? And you will see that she gives her own definition, okay, of the linear programming, mathematical programming. She also gave her definition of objective functions, constraints. Okay? And then, I did not teach this one. But in her blog, she included this. In a problem, there may be two or more constraints. We can classify these equations by looking at the inequality or inequality signs. Okay? Actually, in a nutshell, she gave her own version of linear programming in her blog. And for her last paragraph, she says that, for me, linear programming is useful since it can be extensively used in our world. So, expressions like this makes the teacher's heart very, very big. Because at least the students appreciates how linear programming would be used in the real world. Okay. So, she said here that how linear programming will be used in the real life. She said here that it cannot be just used in business, can be used really in every situation that includes utilization, marketing, and decision making that includes calculation. Okay. But, however, she also said that all in all, I found this topic quite confusing for me. However, it is undoubtedly interesting because of its many practical uses. Even if it's quite hard, I am willing to learn and explore more about this topic. Okay, I have chosen this blog, okay, since she did not just follow the sample questions. She followed the sample questions in her own. Almost all of the things of the bullet forms in the sample blogs are here, in her own way. Okay. Now, for the sample quiz, I have here my sample quiz. Okay, this quiz was done manually. So, since the students really found as the blog said, it's difficult. So, I did not make their life more difficult. So, what I did was, given the problem, I already gave the graphs. They would just compute for the corner points. If you will not, here in this part, I even labeled, which is which. Okay? And then, okay. So this is only 10 points. They have to
from the start kanda marami di constraints.
shade the feasible region. See they will only shade. The instruction is given the graph below, shade the physical region for the following linear programming problem. And you will be surprised. Not all of them got it right. Kahit ganyan na siya kasimple. Okay, and these are students from DLSU, College of Liberal Arts. So, now, I have another question, number 2. In this case, I gave them the visible region and the corner points. The instruction is, okay, identify the equations for each line. Because if I will make it just one, they will really not, some of them will really not pass the quiz. Because if they will be the one to draw the line, the arrow like this, okay, it will be very difficult for them. So I have 2 questions. One is identify the visible region. The other one is given the visible region. Okay. And identify the equations for each line. Find the optimal solution. Now, if you will see, the corner points are already given. Okay? So, may mga naka-perfect naman. May mga naka-perfect. Kaya lang, the sad part is, meron talagang nag-fail pa rin. The simple task of shading the visible region is not simple for them. For some of them. Now this quiz was given in the room. Okay? I have another quiz given in the lab. Okay? So for the lab, I have 2 questions, but they will only choose one. Because they are seated side by side. Okay, this row you only do number 2, and this row you do number 1. Because if not, they will just copy their seatmates' work. So that's why this is also 20 points, similar to the first one. Okay. This is a solution of one of the problems. I cannot say which one. Hindi ko alam kung paano siya magagawa. Okay. Now the graph he did using the Graphical. Okay? And he got it right. Again, not everybody got it right. He got it right. Okay? He followed my way of finding the visible region. Because in Graphical, you could input less than equal. And then Graphical will shade everything for you. But if you have several constraints like this, it will be very difficult for your eyes to determine which is the intersection. So this student, okay, he did what I did. I just draw the lines, okay, and then determine which is the visible region. If you will notice, he also identified the corner points, and then he copy-paste this to Excel, because in Excel, okay, in Excel, okay, if you will notice, there's a formula for Excel. So they would just input the XY and then drag this command until the end. So the minimum, he even got the minimum and the maximum for this graph. Okay. Now the other number 1. Okay, this is how she did. This is how Graphmatica will look like if you will use less than or equal or greater than or equal. Okay. She did not have any problem in finding the visible region. Hindi makita ng ayos. Wala na akong binili. Okay, so yan yung ano. Ayun na. Ayun na yan. Okay. Anyway, so these are 2 sample answers of my students using Graphmatica. I learned that GeoGebra could also be used for this purpose. And then also, okay, just like what the other did, okay, to find the optimal solution, this girl did not give the minimum because it was not asked. She gave only the maximum solution. Okay. So, to illustrate, if you will, the students were taught how to find the intersection. Kasi hirap din sila mag-find the intersection man. You could do that using Graphmatica also. For example, tools, find intersection. If you would have x minus 2y equals 4 and the intersection of 2x plus y equals 18, you calculate it will give you 8 and 2. Okay. So, when x is equal to 8, intersection for that. So, when we use the lab, we also teach our students this method to find the intersection. So, actually, there is no reason for them not to get the right answer. Kaya lang, ganun talaga, meron pa rin na, they really find it difficult even with the use of computers. Okay? Some of my students would leave the room after 30 minutes, but there are those who would stay beyond our lecturers to ask me more questions because they need to clarify how do you find intersection, how do you base this from Graphmatica to Excel, because I also taught that. Okay, so there are really students who are slow, but in the end, for the classes that I handle, sorry, I have 4 classes. What we did was, for the 4 classes, I was the only one teaching linear programming. We had team teaching. Somebody will teach the consumer math, somebody will teach the game theory part, the coding part, and the cryptography. You could also do that in your respective colleges and universities. Granted that you have the same time schedule. We were able to do that because we requested for a same time schedule for the 4 of us. Okay? So, I think it is best if only one will teach one subject matter at a time. Okay, but if not, since math in the modern world is a little of everything, you will just get a little of everything, so you will just be able to study them. This seminar hopes to equip you, okay, in teaching a little of everything. My part is the linear program. Okay, so I think I'm done. Okay, that's all. Okay, let me ask questions. I have a module for this slides. We will give you these slides. I could also give you the slides minus the introductory part, minus the sample quiz, minus the sample blog. Because the middle part, minus the introduction, the first 2 slides, and the last 5 or 6 slides, that's the one I really use. And I even have a module for that. So, I could give you that. For our course here, month in the month, 6 hours.
May membership ka dyan sa NTAP.
2 weeks lang.
Membership
6
ng
hours.
NTAP. May-member sila ng NTAP.
So you really do not have to make it.
Pero dadalhin mo sir bukas. Walang resibo, walang ID sir.
Madali pa nga ito yung, we did not, due to a very, what do you call this? Several topics to be discussed, we cannot contain it in one. The most difficult, mine is linear programming. I think this is not only 6 hours. This is less than 6 hours because I also taught transportation and assignment. The transportation problem is the
Decision theory.
most difficult among the topics assigned to me. Most difficult for the students to comprehend. I also have graph theory. So this is actually 2 meetings, around 3 hours. No. That's why I have here a sample quiz, which is manual. Because my first class, I wasn't able to use the lab because of the reservation was ended. So that's why I have a manual. Actually, the laboratory part is just an add-on. It's not necessary. But then, it will be more enjoyable for the students if they will get to use the lab. So, we let them use the lab. So that they would also appreciate the use of technology. But if your university do not have this facility to have the lab component for your math in the modern world, it's not necessary actually.
Was there a time that your student asked you if it is always one optimum solution? Or sabihin natin na, ma'am, is there any...
There's no time for them to ask. Actually, no more time to ask. Although they are really good students. Maybe if we had more time, they would be asking that. Now, since we made it simple, we did not include any situation wherein you will have two optimal solutions. We only give them exercises with only one optimal
Pero
solution.
may chance na.
Siyempre, may chance. Yes, 3 units. Actually, for the graphical method, for that optimal solution, in relation to this question, for the graphical method, you will not just have two optimal solutions. It will actually be part of that line segment, which will be the intersection of the two constants. But if you will use simplex method, you will only find the two parts for that optimal solution. Yes, po.
What particular course of the modern day
As an amount in the modern world would be taken by all incoming freshmen
freshman and college?
ng K-12.
What are the softwares that we can use for the Graphical one?
The Graphmatica, okay, the one I was using was still freeware. I was told that the latest version is no more. If you want, we could also give you the installer. Okay, no, we will upload it in a website wherein all the lectures will be there. I could also ask them to upload the installer for the Graphmatica, which was freeware before. You could also use GeoGebra, which is also freeware. But it would be best if the students would be given one computer, one student. Because from experience, talagang one computer, one student na sila, hindi pa kami magkaintindi. Okay, dito po, may question po.
Thank you for a very nice presentation. My question is this. Iba na kasi yung definition ng GE natin, the new GE. So the question is, based on your presentation is math. So saan yung GE flavor doon? How can you inject the GE flavor na pino-foresee nila sa database? Okay. It's really more on the appreciation. It's really more on, and not math per se. Kasi parang major ang dating based sa presentation mo. Kasi sa course, hindi siya G. So we should strike a balance.
Actually, kasi isa lang ito sa part.
Hindi, kaya nga, for linear
For,
programming.
for linear programming, kaya ngayon, about, I only showed one blog. Okay? So, dun sa blog, dun papasok supposedly yung creative part. Okay. And, it was a surprise to me. I only showed one, that some students use Tumblr, you know Tumblr? Tumblr.com for their blogs. Okay? And for the linear programming part, we cannot do away with most math because you will really have to solve the problem using math. The best way that we thought how to present it is by just substituting those corner points.
But maybe by 2018, the scenario will be different. Kasi yung mga inequalities, even a portion of linear programming and some other things are already incorporated in grade 11 and 12.
Ay, wala. Wala siya. Grade 11 and 12,
Inequalities.
may solving inequalities, but there's no linear programming.
I told you. Depende na yun.
Depende sa, but according to the curriculum, K to 12, there's no linear programming, only solution of system of inequalities. That's why when I prepared the lesson, I started with the solution of system of inequalities. Because since these students are not from the K to 12, okay, so
yun ang difficulty.
I really need to present the
Pagka
solution.
may 2018,
System.
hindi naman
Yes.
mahirap.
Yes. But then, as I have said, even those students who took up system of inequalities in high school, they forgot already. So you really have to review. They really forgot. Even the x-intercept and the y-intercept, they forgot. And all of them should have learned that in high school, even in elementary. Other questions po?
Kaso ano sa atin yung less than 6 hours yun.
Oo, 3 hours lang pala ito
Kasi
eh.
hindi yata yung i-discuss mo pa yung system na yan.
Ano na lang yan? Kanya-kanyang discuss. Pero I was able to do it. I was able to finish this in 3 hours. That's why even the quizzes are that simple. Because you do not expect them to go deeper. Just as simple as that. I think the best part of this presentation is that I was able to teach this linear programming part in 4 sections. So somehow the experience was there. So I know that you can finish it in 3 hours. You really can. With the quiz is very simple. The manual quiz, I just gave actually 20 minutes for that, for the quiz. For the last 20 minutes, of course I photocopy the quiz. They will not copy it. Because if they will copy the quiz, it will take time. So I photocopy the quiz, give it to them, 1 sit apart. Okay? Last 20 minutes. And you will be surprised that there are those who could finish it in 10. Those are really fast learners. Any other question? Now for the lab, I had 1.5 hours lecture in the classroom and 1.5 hours lecture for the lab. So for the lab, I have 1 hour and 10 minutes to present all of those. How to use the Graphmatica, how to copy-paste to Excel, and then the last 20 minutes also, I give them that quiz. And it's doable. Kita nyo naman yung solutions ng mga students. Naiintindihan nila. I just don't have their solutions for the manual computation because they kept it in a portfolio and we gave it back to them. So I do not have any copy of that quiz which they did manually. Kasi part yun ng grade nila sa last, yung compilation. So they have to compile the solution to the assignments, the firming up. Okay, kaya meron mga ganun firming up. Yung mga solutions doon, hindi na talaga madidiscuss sa class. They just have to submit it. And it will be graded. The application part, yung application to the real world, ano lang din talaga, assignment. into, if you have the facility for overhead projectors or for this, it really helps. The reason, that's one of the reasons why I was able to finish in 3 hours. I have this. I only use the board to illustrate this. Because if you will not use the board, you will just flash, some of the students will not pay attention. So, if you have the technology, 3 hours, you can do it. Yung pala yun. Oo. Pagka wala kayong technology and you have to write on the board, you have to be very creative on how to present the lesson. Because it will not really be finished in 3 hours without the slides. Okay, dito po. Medyo dito po ako palagi nakatingin dahil hindi yung screen na nakikita ko. Hindi ko nakikita yung screen dito. Okay na po. Wala na pong question.
Ma'am, about the notes provided to
Yes. I will show you pala. We use this, again, we use this Google Classroom where we upload the notes. You cannot use it if your university is not subscribed to Google.com. It's an app for those universities tying up with Google for their email accounts. Because if you only have a Gmail account, the app for the classroom will not appear. It will only appear for dito lang siya mag-appear kasi if you will notice yung sa akin DLSU yung sa Gmail. So yung Google Classroom siya have that for all of my classes. So for our we had it for our math appreciation class, the math in the modern. That's why I have that. So for the Google Classroom, actually, for example, so you could upload all your files here. This is for another class because when I was using the Google Classroom for math appreciation, I only had a few, very few uploaded notes. For my other classes, I uploaded everything there. So you could also do that. I hope that your university is tied up with Google because if not, when you click that, you have to click that thing na hindi nakikita. Ito siya eh. You have to click that thing for the, and then you choose ayan. Yung nandyan, this is, all these apps are common to Gmail. But for for Gmail, tied up with the university, you also have that classroom. If you are not tied up with Google, there will be no application like that. Okay? Opo. Gmail. For them to access. Ganito pa siya. Kasi, dito sa Salle, all our students have Gmail account at DLSU. Now, there are students who do not like to use their Gmail account connected with DLSU, so they send me email to ask permission for them to view the file. They could do that. And then, you would just give them permission to see the lecture notes. Pwede din yan. Kahit hindi Gmail, kahit ano-ano. They would just have to send you an email to ask permission to see the file. Okay na po? Oo, 12 o'clock na pala. Lunch na. Kaya pala.
Thank you, Dr. Yvette. So I would like to call on Dr. Isagani Hos to award the Certificate of Appreciation to our speaker. Okay, I'll just be the one to hand over the certificate.
Thank you, Denisha.
1, 2, 3.